What's up, guys? How's everyone doing today? We're almost there. Midweek, Wednesday. Been a busy week here on my front. Live streams every day. We've already uploaded 4 Stats Don't Lie videos. So if you guys are new to the channel, I go live every single day. Go find my playlist, Fight Predictions playlist. You'll see my edited analysis, breakdown, and predictions of all the big fights. We've done 4 this week. We have 4 more. So it's a massive week already. I've been busy boy. Guys, pinned right there in the comment section, join our JSB Insider VIP group. You could join on YouTube or you could join on Patreon. It's a couple bucks a month. Whichever one you choose, you get access to our Discord. Johnny says boxing. We started in August. We're over 350 JSB Insiders. It's not just boxing. It's not just MMA. It's not just betting. It's a full-on sports community. So if you want to be around like-minded guys who take it pretty serious, professional, nice little online, at least 4 of these fights. These are just money line predictions. We already broke down the Joshua Kelly, Bakar Murtazaev fight. I predicted that. We broke down the Carlos Adames versus Amo Williams fight. You should know my prediction on that. Today I uploaded 2 Stats Don't Lie videos. Shakur Stevenson versus Teofimolopez. You should know my prediction on that. And then earlier as well, we uploaded Keyshawn Davis versus Jermaine Ortiz. If you guys are watching, you should know who I'm taking on that. We got 4 more videos to come. And I'm going to leave this live stream open to you guys in a second. And then we're going to go over what's been going on today. 24 hours in boxing. We'll do that as well. And I'll take your questions. To all the JSB Insiders tapping in, just make sure you like this video. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. And just get the questions coming. And I'll do my best to answer them. PJ, Philly in the house. What's up, brother? Always appreciate you here. Oh, yay, Don Julio. Oh, yeah, Don Julio. What's up, Jay? What's your thoughts on Elijah Flores versus Teasley? When's that? When's that fight? I always cover Elijah Flores. People are kind of torn. It's Elijah Garcia, too. When is this fight? It's this. What card is that on? Oh, Pro Box. I'm not getting the odds on that. That's a good fight, man. Elijah's 10-0. Teasley's 13-0. Guys, sometimes if you might think it's a little shocking for me not to know that a fight is coming up, I'll tell you why. Because I live my life in terms of breaking down and predicting. My knowledge week to week is kind of handcuffed by what Sportsbet and the betting apps are kind of showing me. So let's revisit Sportsbet here. Let's as of this morning, I didn't even see the Elijah Flores fight on there. Oh, did you guys hear? Our JSB Insider group, we're affecting the lines again. The little Twitter babies, I call them Johnny's babies. The little Twitter guys who pay for their blue check mark on Twitter and they pay for valid credibility. They don't like the way we do things in our Discord. They think that we're affecting betting odds by giving. It's weird, but anyway, it's always good to be getting blasted out on a social media site in which we don't even have. So that's a good. We must be doing something right when Johnny's babies are talking trash again and people are making videos about us. So thank you, babies. I appreciate you. Let's see what the current odds are looking like, boys. Yeah, the only one I'm getting on that card is Flores versus Castillo. And I was asking about this fight a lot yesterday. And I gave you guys in our Discord and the Patreon a double leg dog parlay. It pays plus 590. Let's go. But when I do get odds for the Elijah Flores fight, dude, I'm going to start looking into it right now, Julio. So I appreciate you. Thanks for giving me a heads up. I don't get how people can say Teo has a better resume than Shakur. To be honest, I believe the contenders that Shakur fought are better than the ones Lopez fought. I mentioned this. Yeah, we could go resume for resume. I think people just you remember, David, it wasn't that long ago where the name Lomachenko, Loma, had this sort of aura about his name. It's kind of like when Triple G, had an aura about his name, that sort of thing. And, he fought that guy. And, he's been undisputed before. My favorite fight of Teo was actually the Josh Taylor fight. I think that's him kind of at his best. But when you look at Shakur, what Shakur has done, Shakur's won world titles in 3 different divisions, something Teo hasn't. He won in 26, he won at 30, won at 35. He's trying to be a 4th division world champion. Both of these guys turned over. They were both in the 2016 Olympics. We know Teo represented Honduras, and we know that Shakur won a silver medal for the U.S. So they've been in each other's radar ever since the amateurs. It was only a matter of time before they mixed it up, and that's going down this weekend. And I know myself and David and everyone's excited about it. I just think that what Teofimolopez does best, his biggest strength in the ring, is he's adaptive. It's an adjective that whenever I think of Teo, you get the common ones, you get the athletic, you get the explosive, but it's in his adaptability. It's like whatever his opponent's giving him, not many fighters could do what he does in match and mirror, and pretty much in the split second in the fight, he makes adjustments. That's called being adaptive. Not many guys are like that. Teofimo is. But the thing Shakur does really well, you know what I'm saying? The defensive minded, but it's his catch and shooting. It's his speed. It's his timing. Timing above all else. So this is a really fun fight. I can't wait to see it. Do the harder fights. Describe harder. Humble Crumble. Your name always makes me hungry. And when I'm eating, I'm happy. So thank you for making me happy. Brandon, what's up, Johnny? Chat. What's up, Brandon? T87. Brandon in the house. Battle Creek, Michigan. Every time I think of the Kellogg's plant that you used to work at, I think of this baseball tournament that I used to play in. It was a traveling tournament when I was 14 and 15, and we would go to Battle Creek, Michigan from Youngstown to play in it. Flores versus Castillo. I'm taking the dog. I'm taking Starling Castillo. Johnny, I see all the hate on Twitter. Grown-ass men hating on you, doing great work. I know, man. We must be doing something. We must be doing. You know what? It's like I said last week on the channel, and we keep it, lighthearted here. We keep it professional, but we keep it, at a certain level, IQ frequency, right? So what I always tell people is, if you don't know me, you can't hate me. If you don't live your life like that, how can I hate on somebody that I don't know? But I get where the HATE is coming, because I'm not everybody's cup of tea. And I tell my girlfriend that all the time. I'm like, I got lucky with you, Chrissy, because I know I'm not everyone's cup of tea. But I know that if you love me, I love you. I'm a loyalist. I'm a loyalist by fault. Great question, Walk Vaughn, 1897, Carrington Castro. I think a lot of people are sleeping on Castro. I do have Bruce winning, but I'm going to break this fight down. And, in recent months, on paper, when I picked a winner, I have changed it after I watched more tape. I need to revisit Castro's tape a little bit more. It's just a lot of fights to do, and that's on my list, though. So I like where your head's at. Breaking Bad boxing, that is a horrendous take. Josh Taylor. Breaking Bad being the gatekeeper of takes. Get him, Nick. Get him, Nick. Good prop. -120 Shakur to win and under 1.5 knockout. Yeah. Shakur Stevenson on points. Shakur Stevenson on money line. The over. But, mate, I was looking at a sneaky plus 400 knockdown. I don't know, man. I like Shakur catching and shooting. And sometimes, what Teofimo doesn't really do at this stage of his career, he's not really punching with you. He's kind of, it's not a reach to say he's ultra selective on when he wants to punch. Both guys are movers. Both guys are going to use the ring. Shakur, on that front foot, they're always looking for angles. I mean, with how explosive these two guys are and the speed, I think a little value play, boy. Look, we're gambling, aren't we? I'll show you a little value prop I was looking at. But Mosby, you're right on. You're right on, brother. Good take once again. Mosby always comes with the valid takes. I'll show you. I was looking at this. If you watch my Stats Don't Lie video, you would know when I upload it that whatever fight is uploaded, that fight is in my head. So I've done all the props. I've done sort of method of victories. It's just in those Stats Don't Lie videos, I only give you my money line. But here's a prop I like. It's not a sexy prop because it's plus 400. It's a long shot prop. But hey, we're here to play long shots. I might sprinkle 50 on that. Why not? Why not? Plus 400, dude, for Shakur for like Teofimo to get dropped. We'll see. I like it. I like those odds. And you know, the odds, the prop odds hunter. So I've had my eyes on that. I'm not committing to it. I mean, most people say Shakur to drop Teo. That's crazy. Not all knockdowns have to be clean shots. Not all knockdowns have to be right on the chin. They could be grazed shots. People lose balance, slip, a glove hits the ground, some fuckery happens. Sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle. If I do that, Mosby, I'll let you know. Excuse me. Josh Taylor was top. Yeah, people forget, Nick. Beat Loma when he was top. Yep. Santa Martina alone is better than everyone on Core's resume minus Zepeda. Then you can't say everyone. And a lot of people said Sandor won that fight. So there's always a devil's advocate to every take. You can't say everyone minus one. Don't work that way, Nick. Come on, Nick. Come on, Nick. Come on, brother Nick. Loma was pound for pound number one. Teo beat him. Shakur not even beat any pound for pound fighter. We could do this. We thank God that the winner of the fight isn't us making fun of their resumes. You know what I mean? Like, we could do that and Styles make fights, but I mean, I've watched Teo win a lot of close fights. I rescored the Steve Claggett fight. That fight was a lot closer than people thought. Rewatched the Jermaine Ortiz fight. That fight was a lot closer than people thought. Sandor Martin, in typical Sandor Martin fashion, loses a really close decision. So yeah, I mean, it's not like he's been cruising. It's not like Teofimo has been washing everybody. And Shakur Stevenson, people don't love the Josh Padley fight. 9th round stoppage, short notice fight. That was supposed to be Floyd Schofield. We remember that. But think about it. Think about how great of a talent a guy must be for you to lose to them, for you to fight them on short notice, and you to get stopped, and then you get elevated by getting stopped. Josh Padley got elevated, got signed with Matchroom. He's fighting this weekend, gets featured fights. So, there's always two ways to kind of talk about the resume and sort of. And then William Zepeda was supposed to be the guy that the Shakur was going to struggle with. Zepeda was supposed to be the guy with his pressure and his output, and Shakur's never fought a volume guy like this before. Somebody who puts him on his back foot. Shakur didn't fight on his back foot. He fought on his front foot. He caught and shoot. He was catching and shooting the entire time and beat up Zepeda. So it's like I trump timing on everything, and then you combine the timing with the speed of Shakur, and then his ability to use the entire ring when he wants to, and then use the jab and his body really, really well. The one advantage I give Teo is, like I talked about, is that adaptability. He's super adaptive. He can take what you're giving him, and he's creative. It's just that there's things when he's using the entire ring as of late, he's not really going to walk you onto something. I think Shakur runs away with this fight, guys. I like Shakur. I think Shakur makes this fight look easy, guys. PJ, you got it. What happened to you, boy? Salutations from Denver. DE. Denver in the house. What's up, Carlos Barbosa? Willy Wonka, what's up? Do you see knockdowns on the date? I do. All right, let's bring this up, Willy Wonka. Great question, big dog. All right, so if you go to my playlist, I just uploaded the breakdown of Keyshawn versus Jermaine, and this question highlights a perfect talking point that I spoke about in the video. I will leave it here for now. All right, so we know that Keyshawn 13-0. He coming off. We know what happened in Norfolk. We know about missing the scales. We know about him getting stripped. All that. But when you watch Jermaine Ortiz's tape, he doesn't have a perfect record. He has those 2 losses and a draw. In those 2 losses, they were close losses. A close loss to Teofimo, a close loss to Lomachenko, but they were both unanimous decision losses. When I say close losses, he was competitive enough to say that he should have been there. Talented, skilled, defensive-minded fighter. I've been, documenting Jermaine Ortiz for the last 5 years, and the one thing I've always said is I wish that he would turn his output up on offense. I wish he would be a little bit more offensively minded, and he is starting to do that. And, since that loss to Teo, he is 3-0. He's not a big puncher sort of guy, but if you rewind the clock, I know it's 5 years ago now, to the Joseph Adorno fight. The Joseph Adorno fight was the fight in which it was a draw, and Jermaine Ortiz got dropped twice, right? He got dropped twice against Adorno in 2021. I only reference that because there is a pattern that could emerge. You know what I'm saying? It happened before. It's not like us talking about a guy who's never been knocked out before, going up against a big puncher and saying, I could see it happening. Well, how could you see it happening if you've never seen that guy get knocked out before? Now, with Jermaine, I've seen him drop before. I've seen him drop multiple times before. And, he's a different guy, older guy, better guy. But Keyshawn Davis, don't get it twisted. His out-of-the-ring issues, he's an aggressive fighter. When he's in the ring, long jab, explosive, quick, powerful, and pay attention to where this fight is going to take place. Jermaine Ortiz is going to be the one who's going to want to dictate the range and pace by using the entire ring. Keyshawn is going to use the jab to get inside, and then he's going to implement his offensive strategies to work the body. I could definitely see Keyshawn stopping Jermaine. I could see a knockdown in this fight. I also, I fully expect Keyshawn to look better than the last time we saw him. And it's hard for us to forget. It's hard for me to forget that why I was upset with the incident in Norfolk, because, and we know the no contest, no decision went to here, Albright. That was a 10-round fight. Don't get it twisted. Keyshawn won that fight on points. It went to the decision. He won the fight, and then it became a no contest, no decision due to a failed weed test, right? He pissed off for cannabis, which is totally bullshit. But anyway, he was on his upward trajectory. This was the guy, like Keyshawn, it was like, we knew Bud was trying to get the Canelo fight. We know Bud, mentoring Shakur and Keyshawn. We know where Shakur is in his career. And when Keyshawn stopped Baranchik, and then he 2 stoppages in a row, looking exceptional, selling out Norfolk, Virginia, it was like, oh, it was like we were watching like the next one in line being ordained as the next one up, right? Everything, a star in the making. He was the one. And then we want, this is from my perspective. And then when everything unfolded the way it did in Norfolk, I was just more disappointed, like an older brother would be, or a father would be, and somebody that you have brought up with potential. And so it wasn't anything that has to do with skill. It had everything to do with the lack of discipline. Now, can those red flags show up in a fight? 100%. We will have to watch for that. I feel that the move from Bo Mack back to his home, back to his camp that brought him up through the amateurs when he was a little younger, I love that move. That shows me that he needed an anchor. He made that decision to be around people who've known him longer, and I feel that I think it's going to be the best decision for him. I totally expect Keyshawn to get right back on track, and I do like. There's a long answer, Willy Wonka. My girlfriend's like, Johnny, you don't live your life in yes or no's, do you? I'm like, no, there's always there's always something to talk about. Like, as a kid, I hated multiple choice tests. I loved theory. Multiple choice tests growing up was boring to me. You could just pick one of 4, and then, a lot of the guys who didn't study could just get decent grades by just guessing. I love theory. You know what I'm saying? I love tests to where we have to explain theory and write. So this is why I love boxing, because there's always theory. Okay, so on points by stoppage. The sharper money is on by a knockout. I can see, I like Keyshawn on the money line, obviously. The odds are shit. $1.20, what are you really going to do? But I'll let you know in a couple days. I'm leaning towards knockout. Let's see a knockdown prop. Will the fight go the distance, yes or no? I like that one. But if you're going to take no, and you're confident in Keyshawn, take him by knockout, you get more money. I don't see Ortiz stopping him. And right now, that's about all we get. It's a great question, though. If we do have knockdown props, usually the knockdown props will appear closer to fight night. But Willy Wonka, appreciate the question. I'm going to catch up to some of the JSB insiders now. No way. Now never. I'm glad you asked that. And now never, every time you comment, and I appreciate you, you're an insider, I always think about how high. I say it every time. Every time you're on my live stream, I see now never. I think now never. No one say that now never like you say now never, Potter. I don't even know what that shit means, but it sounds good. So it's hard for me to kind of focus when I see now never. Anyway, Belmetti, guys, come on, dude. If you're in the Discord now never, you would know. Belmetti is the same dude we won a lot of money on 2 months ago by him losing to Zucan. Zucan, that fight I think happened in China. China. That it either happened in China or Japan. We cover so many fights, but we've won money, a lot of money, betting against Belmetti. Um, I don't like the Frenchman's. I don't like the Frenchman's sort of when things start getting sort of heavy and the water starts getting high, he kind of melts down. I think Josh Padley. I think this is easy money for Padley. Shakur got hurt by a jab from Zepeda. He also got dropped by Conceição. So if we're doing maths, Shakur did this, Teo did this, blah blah did that. Blame yourself if you do that. All right, playa. The boss Christos, was that knockdown from Carlos Ocampo or a slip in your eyes? Technically, guys, when the glove hits the canvas, it's a knockdown. But even in a boxing where rules are rules, there's always gray areas. And I told you guys going into that fight, I've never been sold on Walsh. So, I mean, I don't know, man. He got dropped twice by Martin, not solid punchers either. Yeah, when you guys are looking into where you're betting your money, it's important to know all these things. Because you take that knowledge about what fighter we're talking about, but then you take it and then you implement it into their opponent's style. Like, is this a similar style? Does this guy fight like this guy? Has he learned? Some guys grow into their frame. Some guys get more durable. Some guys get less durable. What's happened since that fight? Where's his confidence at? There's so many extraneous variables in boxing. That's why, from my perspective, doing the tape, speaking on it, it's really exciting. It's literally the best sport in the world. Teo has more power than Shakur. Either fighter to be knocked down is better. Whatever you want, PJ. That's the beautiful part about life. We get to make our own choices. Kiza B, JSB. I'm just saying a fact that Loma was pound for pound. I agree, bro. Speaking to the choir, I do agree with you. I talked about that in my breakdown. I said that I watched the stats on live video. And guys, for the JSB insiders, you guys get pretty much 24/7, 365 access to me if you're following me on Instagram, before in the Discord. So I actually don't expect everyone to watch those videos. Those videos are like for the newbies, kind of like to put the bird out to, hey, we're in this little small corner of YouTube. We're a tiny YouTube content creator. Here's this bird. Come check us out. You know, that's why I shoot it with, professional equipment, and I know how I do editing. It looks really good. But yeah, I said that, Kiza. I was like, yeah, if when we're doing resume by resume, Teo, better resume. I'm just glad we're seeing this fight. King of Fitness, the King. Y'all asked for the King, Charlotte. Well, the King's is here. Baccarat was staring at Kelly, bro. I'm glad you brought that up. I had that, bro. I had that in the chamber waiting for us to see it. He's talking about Baccarat. He's talking about L.A. Dude, when I look at Baccarat Murtazaev, I'm glad somebody brought this up. I lived in Long Beach, California for 7 years. Baccarat Murtazaev right here looks like a Skid Row meth head. Bro. Murtazaev looks like he's off on that Tina, that white girl, that Tina, that Crystal, the Crystal Method. Murtazaev looked like he's 70 years old, boy. I've never been sold on Baccarat Murtazaev, ever. I want to give a shout out to Sal. If Sal Pineda is on this live stream, Sal, we'll show them the receipts. Look, I am not buying into Murtazaev. I mean, I think Kelly takes this fight, man. Kelly knows what time it is. This is my dog of the week. I was going back and forth with Sal Pineda, who's a JSB insider, on our Instagram back in August or September about this fight, because Josh Kelly had been calling for this fight for a year, right? And all this talk in American boxing content creators and Turkey al-Sheikh, people were avoiding Murtazaev. Nah, I never bought into that. Josh Kelly had been in the UK, but hey, I'll fight this dude. I want to fight this dude. I think Kelly's style is tailor-made to beat Murtazaev. I think Murtazaev is sluggish. I think he has bad feet. I think his entrances are very much predictable. I think Kelly is the more skilled fighter. He has obviously the better feet. I think he's going to use the entire ring. You give us Josh Kelly a plus 290. Guys, I put my bet in 3 days ago as soon as the lines dropped. And this is my dog of the week. I think we're going to be 3 weeks in a row. 3 weeks ago, we hit Jorge Chavez to beat Gucci Flores. Last week, we hit our boy J-Rod at plus 490 to beat your boy Sugarcane. And right here, we got Josh at plus 290. I think he's tailor-made. I mean, Murtazaev has a right hand. Other than the Tim Tszyu fight, he fought Tim Tszyu for 7 minutes. All of a sudden, he's the boogeyman. What are we talking about here, man? And from a value play perspective, all you sharps out there, this is the one. Plus 290, let's go. And the more I think about it, I'm actually less nervous of that fight. I'm actually less nervous. I think Josh Kelly, people are like, oh shit, Johnny, you got it right. I was like, I've been telling you boys, Josh Kelly's going to outbox him. It's boxing. It's not called knockout. For Shakur to get knocked from and win. For Shakur to get knocked down and win. I think it's like 10-1. What's up, MMA Better? Do you think Elif wins dominate? Is that Turhan? Is that the our girl from Turkey that we hit big with? Was that she just fought like 2 months ago, right? Is that Elif Turhan? Yeah, I do. We're not getting props, but as a bettor, I kind of ride the wave. If I win on sort of a plus money prop bet on a fighter, let's say a knockout, and then when that fighter fights again, I'll do the same bet. So I'm gonna take if we get knocked down or knockout props for Elif, I'm taking her by knockout. I don't rate Sandor. I do, man. I like Sandor Martin, Dave. I like Sandor Martin's boxing ability. I like Sandor Martin's activity. I like the range Sandor Martin fights in. The thing I don't like about him is he gives so many close rounds away. It's almost like he does the opposite of what a coach wants you to do. Like a coach usually in between rounds, like, come on, you got to start out early. You got to get out on that lead. You got to win, the first half of the round. Martin does all of that. Martin, almost every single fight, every single round, he's winning like 75, 80% of the first part of every single round. And it's in like the close fights in which he loses. The Alberto Puello fight, the Teofimolopez fight, the last 30 seconds of each round, he kind of sometimes just gets comfortable. He's frustrating as a coach, but I like him. I like Sandor Martin, man. He's had a good career. He's a tough out for anybody. Willie Wonka, appreciate you. Kiza, we're going UFC here? It's Wednesday. Can we talk about this on Friday, brother, if you don't mind? Let's talk about this on Friday. Because I don't want to give you my impulse take. But on Friday we can have this chat. How you guys think about this two-leg Keyshawn to get a knockdown murders? I love it. I think, bro, if you're a true boxing fan, boy, this week is like bountiful, plentiful, knockdown props, over and unders, method of victories, underdogs, big favorites. You get a little bit of everything. I just feel we sometimes could be guilty of getting it too big-eyed. That's why I gave you boys my long parlay already, and I only picked 10 fighters. There's like 30 fights, but the long parlay this week is up on our Patreon, and it's up in the Discord. It's only 10. So I've given you 4 tickets this week for the Patreon boys and the JSB Insiders. They're up on YouTube and Patreon. I gave you guys my dog of the week, which I already gave everyone. Free game. Josh Kelly's my dog of the week. I have a dog parlay paying plus 600. That's posted. I have the 10-leg money line parlay that pays plus 3 something. Oh, and then I introduced a new parlay. It's called our safety net parlay. I posted the 4-leg safety net parlay today in the Patreon and YouTube. It pays plus money. So the safety net parlay is like a 4-legger. What I like to do with that safety net parlay is if this loses, this loses, this loses, I will bet heavy on that safety net to at least be up in the money. So it's strategy, baby. It's strategy. Come on, baby. Keep your head up. Tim Cheatham. Get him out of boxing. What about the skull fight? Who you got? Look, I'm still waiting to get that last Jacob Bank fight tape. I didn't get the Jacob Bank fight I wanted. I got like 8 minutes from one of the boys. Shout out. But I like Skull here. I like Skull on points. Skull on points right now is, I think, plus 154. That's right where I'm leaning. When I make that official, I'll let you know. Leo, good luck with your bet, baby. Tio, I like it. That's you'll get over 2,000 back. I don't think Ortiz is that good, to be honest. He's sound. He's a sound guy. Leo, thanks for the super chat. Shakur is no power puncher, nor not a power puncher, but I think he's more of a boxing puncher than people realize. When you look at his tape, he's more on his front foot than you realize. He'll catch and shoot with you. He's actually super comfortable in the pocket, catching and shooting with you. You know, he uses the Philly shell. He likes to use that backhand counter, and then he uses the ring when he needs to, when his hands are injured, like he did against De Los Santos. But then you see the version against Padley, catch and shoot. This is who he is. You see the version against Zepeda, catch and shoot. This is who he is. So I feel it's actually going to be Teofimo who's going to be using more of the ring than Shakur. And I can't wait to watch the chess match. I can't wait to see if Teo is going to be able to make adjustments on the fly and what Shakur does when he gets Teo's timing down if he tries to pour it on. So I cannot wait. God, if you're like, this is like Christmas for me, watching a guy like Teo and Shakur fight. It's like Christmas. GK, Kelly unraveled himself in the Ava fight. He learned to fight at a better pace now. Ishmael Davis fight gave me a lot of confidence in him. Yeah, bro. Like in the spaces of clinching and then using the ring, this is a great point GK makes up, because when you're a mover and you're an athletic guy and you're used to coasting versus guys, you never have to get comfortable in specific spaces. You know, Kelly was always the guy in the amateurs, early part of his career. He'd hit you from the outside. He'd see you shell up. He'd pop you. He'd make you miss. And then he would do this sort of thing the entire time. And you only have, he never had to learn the lessons of the in-between space until the Ray Robinson fight. And then the Avanesian fight. And then the in-between, what do I do when I get hurt? What do I do when I clinch? What do I do when I'm tired? How do I find a break? What do I do when he's pressuring me and I'm uncomfortable? And this is what happened with Ava, as a true veteran would, did against Kelly. And I agree. I think Kelly made the adjustments. I like Kelly's physicality, actually, to be honest with you. I know Bachram's going to be a little bit bigger, but I like Kelly's legs in this. I like his speed. I think his power is underrated, and he's hands down the better boxer. Once again, at plus 240, plus 290, depending where you are in the world. I mean, what are we talking about here? This is not only a value play, I think it's a steal. Where's my hat at? Where's my hat at? I think it's a swindler, boy. We got to get the swindler out for this. The swindler says, baby, we got to get the swindler out. I think we're swindling the bookies on this. Let's see what those odds are currently looking at. Make me get my hat out and the swindler. All right, let's look at this real quick. I'm going to show you a crazy prop I'm probably going to lean on. All right, boys, we're swindling again, baby. 100 on Kelly gets you 280 back on the money line. You guys are going to call me crazy. But what are we talking about? Fucking plus 1,400 to stop Murtazaev? Bro, Murtazaev was on death's doorstep against Jack Colque. Jack Colque is a 5'7", even at the end of his sort of career. And, you know, that fight gives me, and watching the Tim Tszyu fight makes me even further comfortable in my pick with Murtazaev. When Johnny and Gary both agree on a winner for a fight is basically guaranteed bet on the man. Who are we agreeing on? I don't know who he's taking. I've been yeah, I haven't been watching anyone's content this week considering we got so many fights. Perth in the house. What's up, Perth? Skeezy, holla. Dude, the Garcia Barros undercard is crazy. Right off jump, man, the GAR Hiroka fight is it for me. That's the one I'm looking forward to. There's no disrespect. There's no disrespect, but guys, this is gonna be one of those fights. When it comes through, when Josh wins this and Cat's gonna be like, damn. I'm very I like stylistically, I love this matchup for Kelly. When I look at what Josh does really well and what Murtazalov, and then you flip that token as well, what Murtazalov does really well is his backhand. Josh avoids the backhand, uses his feet, uses a ring to circle around. He's at home in Newcastle with that crowd, with the judges. I think Josh could use the ring and dance himself to a decision. DJ, my pops was always right. Got to bet with that wallet, not with my heart. Sometimes we get a little bit emotional, don't we? Am I getting too emotional? I remember in July when the fight was first announced and you backed Kelly right away. I 100% doubted the pick, but after looking at the tape, you ain't lying. PBK, guys, these are for the boys. You guys know that, you've been following my channel. At least what you're gonna get with me is my instinctive initial reaction from stylistic matchups, and that's what it came to. Because I live in Sydney, guys. I've watched every single one of Tim Tszyu's fights. So what does that mean? I broke down the Tim Tszyu tape. I broke down the Murtazalov tape before the fight, after the fight. I did a preview for both. I did a post show for both. And I felt like we learned more about Tszyu and where he was lacking in the Murtazalov fight than we learned about Murtazalov. It was a 7-minute fight. Drag that fight out, Tim. What are we doing? High guard, use the ring. You have a good jab, use it. Why are you trying to exchange with this man? And so I'm just saying it showed more about Tim. I still have questions with Murtazalov. I want to see if when he starts fading, bring him to the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th rounds. I want to see his boxing. I'm a boxer. I love jabs. I love setups. I love traps, all that good stuff. The kid walking you down and throwing a big right hand, that's being a bully. Let me see if you could box. Well, with Josh Kelly, we'll at least see if he could box. And I don't buy the boogeyman narrative. You guys are saying that said fighter or this fighter is scared of Bakhram Murtazalov. I don't think any pro fighter at the highest level is scared of any other pro fighter. That's just, that's just from a fighter's perspective. And if they are, they shouldn't be fighting. And so Julius says no distance. So this is why I feel Josh is going to win. Josh knows that no distance is plus 1,400, dude. What? Josh by knockout is plus 1,300. Dude, he was hurt against Kolke. That's all I'm going to say, boy. I can see it. Take your Bakhram. Take Baccarat. Baccarat out here. Julius, you're coming on the lot. So, guys, my Friday around noon is Thursday Central Time. Julius from Bama, he's one of the sharps in our group. He's coming on our live stream. So it'll be a dual show with me and Julius going back and forth. You'll get to pick the brain of this sharp madman who's in and out, week in and week out, picking winners. And it's going to be a lot of fun. That's in 2 days. I'll remind everybody on the show. Julius, my play is heavy on Kelly money line, fight to go the distance, and then sprinkle Bakhram. Ooh, I like that hedge. 7-12. The word hedge, nobody likes using the word hedge around here. Are we no longer, are folks no longer hedge betting? Or is that how come nobody uses hedge anymore out here? Kelly will win rounds early I think live betting will be the play. Johnny boy, Teo's a lot faster. You think Teofimolopez is faster than Shakur Stevenson? You mean in a straight line, or you mean... I don't know, man. That's a good... Guys, do you think that Teo is faster than Shakur? And this screen name looks like my name. They call me Saint John Stoff. It almost looks like my name. We related, baby. The only thing that worries me about Bachman by stoppage is I believe the odds 172. Yeah. Yeah, so value play again, guys. This hair might get shaved, boys. If I was a single savage, if I was single out here in these streets, boy, this thing would get shaved. I'd have that skin fade lined up with the shave. I'd bring the necklace back, boy. Maybe bring that eye ring back too, boy. How you feel about Padley? I like Padley. We talked about this fight. The guy that Padley is fighting, he's fighting a French fighter. I think the French fighter has shown signs of diminishing as the fight goes on. And 2-3 months ago, I won a whole bag on Zucan beating the Frenchman. So I think Padley, I think this matchup is made for Padley to look good. What's up, Sentinels? I do have Carrington on the money line as we speak, but I do have a little bit more film to watch on Castro. Castro's legit. I think this fight is competitive. And right now, I think Shushu, I'm leaning Shushu, but that's not my 100% locked in sort of thing. Kelly will have to trade at some point. Kelly is 31, fast switch fighter. Kelly will be mouth breathing mid rounds. Murtazaev is a 33-year-old sluggish guy who cuts so much weight, who's fought 5 times in 6 years. No legs, no feet. One path to victory is backhand. I think Josh is going to make it look easy, guys. We'll see. We're going to have some great sound bites. Like, however this goes, and Julius is coming on Friday because we'll be going back and forth. Whether I win or lose, there's going to be some great sound bites, either for me or for Johnny's Babies on Twitter. So Johnny's Babies, pay attention because I know you guys are. If I'm right, we're going to be like, we up. And if I'm wrong, I'm going to be laughing too. But I like Kelly here. Fight to go the distance. Teo, Shakur, Zen. Guys. Is it Bas Barao and Xander a 50-50 fight? Because, I'm watching tape on Barao, and my initial bet was Xander by a mile, right? But, because I'm uploading my prediction tomorrow. And I watched a Bas versus Tellez again, and then watched 2 of his fights, in the UK. Dude, a Bas Barao is legit, dude. I think are these odds disrespectful? Xander's only 22 years old. A Bas Barao's on his full-grown man. When we're talking about a value play again, guys, I don't think Barao should be a 4-1 dog here. I think this is close to a 50-50 fight. I think this fight is real close. Have you guys taped this? Let me know what you think. And I'm a Xander fan. I've always spoke high of Xander. I think that we're looking at a probably 3-division world champion before it's all said and done. He's a big boy for 54. Cuts weight, athletic, young, ever growing. Are people sleeping on a Bas Barao? Julius, watch Ishmael Davis fight. He fought like that consistently for 11 rounds. Yeah, people are acting like Josh Kelly isn't like a savage, full-on pro athlete in shape. Follow his Instagram. The dude's conditioning is through the roof. Ishmael Davis fighting our boy Bilal Fawaz. Hey, chat, what are we going to do? JSB Insiders, the very fighter who started Ticketgate, Bilal Fawaz, is fighting Ishmael Davis in his sort of coup de grace, opportunity. Ishmael Davis is worse. He's a pressure fighter. Green Nation Cato. Bachman brutally stopped 2 world-class fighters in Kolke and Zoo. You think that Jack Kolke, though? I don't rate the Jack Kolke. It brutally stopped, man. He was going life and death. He was down on the cards in the 11th. In Zoo, I mean, we could say that now, but come on, you guys are the same guys who said Zoo, Zoo, beat Ocampo, Zoo beat Mendoza. Zoo got dropped against Terrell Gausha. What are we talking about here, guys? Tim Zoo got dropped against Terrell Gausha in the Armory in Minnesota in the first round. So this is a thing that we've seen before in Tim Zoo. Tim Zoo got dropped domestically here as well on his come-up. So the idea that Tim Zoo is this like chiseled, durable guy and it took Bakram Murtazaev to crack. No, hell nah. Clean-ass, slick Terrell Gausha was like, pop, pop, pop. and Tszyu folded. Lost the fight. Lost the fight. But, and dude, Kolke's like 5'4", dude. Aging out. Hell no. Josh, you get his ass kicked once he gets out. I don't believe it, Mr. Reed. Mr. Reed, you my guy. But we do not see eye to eye on this one. I think Josh beats him. I think Josh is going to impress people. Murda, this is a cool nickname. That's a cool nickname. Shout out to DJ Heads. Murda. Murda was the case. You're on fire. I like the knockout as well. The Murda Zylev. Right? Where did it come from? It came from... It's weird. I do not know where this Murda Zylev glaze came from. This is not the channel you're going to hear. This is the channel. And like... It's not like I'm glazing Kelly. You guys could hear the chat. When this fight was being spoken about 6 months ago, right when it got announced, I was like, I'm hammering Kelly on the money line. I was like, he's gonna be the underdog. I'm hammering Kelly on the money line. Bakram doesn't have power. Use volume to overwhelm like Matias. Dude, the thing I don't like, I'm not my knock on Bakram Murtazaev isn't me negating his strength, right? So that's not my knock, and I'm not disagreeing with you, G. But, you know, his strength is that volume, that linear approach, that backhand, right? My knock on him is his base, his foundation, and his legs. Even the finishing sequence against Tszyu, like, he wasn't, it's not like he was here. He was kind of, I don't know, man. Murtazaev looks very basic to me. I'm not seeing it. I've watched, dude, when you watch the Tszyu tape, you watch the finishing sequence, it's not impressive. It's not like it was a chess match and Tszyu, it's like Tszyu literally just came out concussed for 2 rounds and just put his chin there to get stopped. The Kolke fight was far from impressive. And then he's only fought, when you mix that with 5 or 6 fights in 6 years, I don't like his feet. I don't like his legs. What does Josh do well? His feet. His legs, using the entire ring. And then you give me those odds? And then the fight's in Newcastle? Do you realize what that crowd... I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm glad I'm glad we disagree, though. Because what do we always say? This is not an echo chamber. Kolke beat Barao. When did that fight take place? When did Kolke beat Barao? In a totally different fight, by the way. And I'm here saying that I think Xander is a 50-50. Barao's good, dude. Barao's a good fighter. Okay, Bakram killed Tim Tszyu. How many times has Bakram fought since the Tszyu fight? 0. How many times has Tszyu fought since the Bakram fight? 3 times. If Bakram almost killed Tim, Bakram hasn't fought since the fight. Tszyu's fought 3 times. That doesn't sound like a guy who died. Kelly has never faced a world-class puncher. Kelly all flash. No, we'll see. We'll see. These are the same guys who were cheering when he went to New York and fought Ray Robinson to a draw. Tim threw the same combinations. 15. Dude, Tim, this is what I'm saying. The lack of adjustments, the low fight IQ with Tim Tszyu is what I took from the Murtazaev fight. I didn't leave that fight like, damn, Murtazaev is a killer. I was like, damn, I didn't know Tim was that sort of like, I thought his fight IQ was a little bit higher than that. Styles make fights, no glaze on Murtazaev, but Kelly Style and Gas Tank not made. What is the Gas Tank thing recently though? When did you see him gas recently? Did you watch the Troy Williamson fight? Troy just showed his ass against Callum Simpson, in which he was a big dog. Josh styled on Troy. I don't rate Bakram highly. I just really believe Kelly isn't well. I don't. That's where we differ. I think from a boxing skill perspective, there's only a handful of guys in boxing who have the skills Kelly has. Hand speed, feet, angles, slips, rolls. Dude, Kelly can punch too. His jab is good. I'm just catching up. The chat's on fire, boys. Julius in the house. Teo isn't faster than Shakur. Thanks for answering that for me. Mosby Julius said if a guy is over 30, bet the distance. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Bachram's 33. Bachram might be 40. You got Starling. My guy Tenio. Yep, I got Starling Castillo. Pedro in the house. All the boys are checking in. I got Teo and Josh winning this weekend. Good luck, brother. I said the favorite 30 to 33. The underdog Kelly is 31 with a stoppage loss. Fight fan in the house. We got DJ Heads. Appreciate the super chat. Shout out to the Swindler. Thursday going to be crunk. Julius cool as fuck. Can't wait. Yeah, Julius is the jam. Guys, the Swindler says, baby, we up. Appreciate you, DJ. Everyone drops Tim. Yep. The 2 times Josh Kelly didn't win, we're at 147. This fight is at $54.72 for Bachram by stoppage. Is too lenient. We got a lot to talk about, boys. Well, so you like Bachram at 33 years old? Let's pull some. Let's see something real quick. Let's see something real quick, boys. Chill with me. Chill with me. All right, so this is Bachram versus Kolke. I mean, we're not going to be able to watch the whole fight. This is the 11th round. This whole fight's on YouTube. Murtazalev's 5'11". Kolke is 5'5". Granted, it's the 11th round. Throws an elbow there. Murtazalev was down on the scorecards in this fight. I don't know, man. There is nothing about Murtazalev's tape. There's nothing about his tape that I like. Maybe that's me convincing myself on why I put money. I went heavy on Josh here. But I just don't see it. I don't see Murtazalev beating him. What's up, Ace Boogie? Yo, appreciate the support, guys. Go to my fight prediction playlist videos. Stats don't lie. I uploaded yesterday Carlos Adames versus Ammo Williams. And Ace asks, do I think Ammo gets stopped by Adames? Look, I'm a fan of Ammo. I like how brave he fights. I like after he got stopped against Hamza, his matchmakers gave him another tall fighter in Patrice. I thought the Patrice fight could have went either way. Even though we picked Ammo, we won. But, I mean, Patrice Volney is a legit world-class fighter. Doesn't have pop, right? The thing that Ammo does really well is his athleticism and his unorthodox approach, his willingness to exchange in a dust-up. Adames is a sharp, legit world champion, been around the game forever. This is the best version of Adames. He's in his physical prime. I think he does everything a little bit better, especially technically, than Ammo. I could see Ammo getting stopped. Boots up, money line gets good. Bro, Julius, did you see what's happening, though? You know, you Johnny's babies were tweeting about us because of this fight, right? So Johnny's babies on Twitter was tweeting because we talked about this fight yesterday. Cats must have clipped it and told people about it because Julius and I were shooting it up about Boacek, this version of Boacek, and I'm never going to call any fighter washed. I'm never going to call any fighter shot. I just think Serhii Boacek's style does not age well. I think that he left a lot of himself in the ring against Virgil. I think the version of him against Michael Fox wasn't a flash in the pan. I think the version against Michael Fox, in which Michael Fox, a 147, dropped him in the 10th, I think that was more of an epiphany of what's to come. And then we saw what Brandon Adams did to Serhii Boacek. You give me Butiev, and Butiev's not a world beater. He hasn't been the most active guy, but you give me Butiev at plus money, baby. Yippee-yi-yo, yippee-yi-yay, wanna bump that body, baby. Wanna bump that body, wanna bump that body, don't stop. Yippee-yi-yo, yippee-yi-yay, wanna bump. So yeah, I like him there too. I think Bacham is going to be drained. Bro, he looks horrible in the weight cuts, mate. He looks horrible in the weight cuts. Hold up. Bro. By the way, I love how Matchroom does this now. I love these face-offs in the home fighters gym. Murtazaev looks like a tweaker that used to ask me for money in Skid Row back in 2005. Murtazaev might be 45 years old too on the down. Like, so, god damn. Murtazaev out here, boy, looking ancient. I think Kelly walks him, dude. I think Murtazaev's style is tailored for Kelly to look good, dude. You give Kelly the whole ring, home field advantage. I think Josh looks good here. We'll see. If not, you guys got a lot of good sound bites. B Murda versus Kelly over 8.5. I like it. I love that nickname, King. B Murda. Not to mention Koke walked through his for 11 rounds. Little ass Jack Koke. Not even in his prime. Sweet old Jack Koke, all filled with wonderment. Don't even know a word yet. Do you think a belt makes a champion better? Oh, 100%. I don't know if it's motivation, but it's 100%. A fighter fights different when he has a belt. It's that shine. Think about you achieving a goal, working towards that goal. You achieve that goal. It's a combat sport. You're the motherfucking man. You know? Yeah, I think so. I think a belt makes a fighter way more switched on, way more dangerous. Big ammo fan. I'm an ammo fan. Watch the stats on live video. I talk about this, guys. There was a time where I didn't pick who would win. I didn't pick who would. You guys asked me to pick who would win. Hey, we got one. We got one of Johnny's babies online. So, guys, Wilson Michaels is one of John. Hey, Johnny, the swindler. Are you done insulting and hurting our feelings? I'm sick. Wilson Michaels, what are you doing on the good side? What'd you do? Come over on the good side. You're welcome anywhere you go, baby boo-boo. I wasn't trying to offend you. It's all love. We still good. I don't like Kelly smiling. I do. I like Kelly smiling. Get him up. Come on, smile. I like the smile. Personalities are different. You think Kelly get the knockout? Bro, look. The money is already heavy on the plus side for the money line. It's already heavy. I like it. If I do, I can see it. I can see Murtazaev getting run down. I don't like Murtazaev's 5 fights in 6 years. I don't like his age. I don't like his legs. I think Kelly looks like, to me, grinning like that, he looks like he knows something. Josh Kelly is a fighter to me he knows something. He's confident in approach. I like when they go shoulder to shoulder, the little side eye too. We've watched this like 10 times. So watch this when they go that one. I like that one. That one's like, yeah, what time is it? I'm confident in that pick, boys. Moses fighting tomorrow. It's in March. Yeah, Moses fight got delayed. What else we got? Did you guys see the first stare down? This happened today. I can't wait for this fight. I cannot wait for this fight. Two of my if you're a fan of boxing, these two should be two of your favorite fighters, boxing wise. So I had one of my online clients is a boxer. He's an amateur in Australia, and he's getting ready to fight. For the amateur Commonwealth Games. There's a Commonwealth tournament in 2 weeks. I'm his strength and conditioning coach. So by trade, I'm a strength coach. And he was telling me, he's 18 or 19 years old, and he was telling me about how his father was a fighter in Ireland. And a couple years ago, him and his dad were watching the Shakur versus De Los Santos fight, and he said how his dad always hated Shakur because of that fight. And then he said to me yesterday during our session, he was like, you know, I wanted to tell you a couple months ago, my dad was watching Shakur versus Cepeda, and we're watching it together. And my dad turns to me, he goes, see, this is a guy you need to be watching. And my client's like, I turned to my dad, I was like, what are you talking about? He's one of my favorite fighters. I told you about Shakur. So it's like when you strip away, like if you really like the ins and outs of like how to box and set up, like Shakur Stevenson, but Teo, the explosivity, the athleticism, the swag, the charisma, the adaptivity. Being adaptive in boxing is so undersold and undervalued. Not many. Okay, think about Lester Martinez versus Christian Mabili. Think about what was the thing that separated Billy and Martinez the second half of the fight. Now, granted, we broke the fight down. We picked Billy. It was a draw. But I was the first one to say I thought Lester won that fight. I thought Lester won the mid to late rounds. I thought Lester made the better adjustments. And I said if they fought again, I think Lester would win. And crazy enough today, Billy was elevated to full champion, right? But think about how Lester adapted in that fight. The adaptability of Lester Martinez blew me away. I didn't think he had it in him. And I think moving forward, that's going to be definitely something that's going to separate Lester Martinez from everyone else, at least if he fights Billy again. And Billy didn't have that in him. And Billy knew one way forward, one fight style. If this doesn't work, but it's always worked. And if it doesn't work, I don't know what to do, right? Being able to go from plan A, B, C, D is called being adaptive. Teofimolopez does that better than anybody I've seen. And so when he's cooking, this is a really, really, really fun fight. This is a nerd of the game's dream. This is a chess player's fight to watch. Gotcha. Money line is already looking good. Just go heavy on it to be safer. Yeah. Shakur always looks switched on, don't he? Dude, we're in a good spot, boys. As boxing fans, we're in a good spot. There's so many fights. Did you guys see the undercard for Ryan versus Barrios? Oh my God. Let's pull that up. How switched on does Ryan look lately, too, mate? I know he gets a lot of shit, but I got to be honest with you, Ryan Garcia looks super switched on right now. My initial pick a month ago was Mario. But, you know, after watching the last 6 weeks, paying attention to Garcia's Instagram, seeing how he's been moving, bro, Garcia looks really, really focused. I want to show you the undercard, though. Oh, my God, dude. Talk about us being spoiled. Look at this freaking undercard, boys. Starting with Beck the Bully versus Igbeko. That fight alone would be like a pro box main event. Then we got Frank Martin fighting more than once in a calendar year. What are we talking about here? We got Frank Martin coming off that impressive win over Rancies, fighting against Nahir Albright, dude. Nahir Albright, you know, putting his name in the hat. Albright's fought both of the guys in the main. You know, Albright's fought Jermaine. Albright's fought Keyshawn. And then the co-main, or the second to the co-main, GAR versus Hiroka. I put GAR on my top 10 pound. I know it's not a sexy pick. You guys could debate me on it, but in my own personal Johnny Says Boxing top 10 list, Gary Antoine Russell has a spot right there. Gary Antoine Russell has one or two swing rounds away from being undefeated. He jumps out to that huge lead against Alberto Puello. He thought he kind of sat on a lead. I'd like to talk to him or his brothers and see if it was a gas tank thing or if he put the foot on the gas too early in the first half of the Puello fight, and then he realized that he made a miscalculation and had to kind of hold his cardio because he was out. He not the most active guy. He lost a really close decision that could have went either way. And then on the comeback fight, he looked amazing against Ryo, and Ryo was the one who was trending. So GAR versus Andy Hiroka. Hiroka, you know, watch the kid that Brian Norman Jr. Rikishi. The kid that Brian Norman Jr. knocked out to get the Devin Haney fight, Rikishi. Rikishi was undefeated with, I think, close to 100% knockout to win ratio. and his only loss was Andy Hiroka. And Hiroka is that dude in Japan. Big puncher, come forward style. This clash of styles between Hiroka and GAR, I'm 100% here for it. And then we got Africa versus Duarte. Richardson, Hitchens, mate, I've been on Hitchens for the last few years. Whenever you come to this channel, you know I'm going to educate you on a fighter like Hitchens who has a great jab, great fight IQ, uses the entire ring, and he got that viral moment against George. I think this is the most dangerous version of Hitchens, and I'm high on Oscar. Oscar coming off that victory against Kenny Sims Jr. in Chicago when Duarte was the B-side and half the crowd was cheering for him, and he handled a smooth operator, a technician like Sims Jr. I thought it was a close fight. I picked Kenny Sims in that fight. We lost, but you know, this is not a boxing casual channel. I do this for the love of the game, so nobody's going to get every pick accurately. But when I get them wrong, I'm happy to be wrong, especially when you have a guy like Duarte. The kid in Duarte, from what he looked like against Ryan to what he looks like now and how he's fought himself into a world title opportunity, this is what boxing's all about. This is exactly what we saw with Morataya and Andy Cruz. I mean, I think, you know, we got time to break these fights down, but this is just a look ahead. We haven't seen Beck the Bully since the fight against DFG, Darius Fulgham. We hit huge on that. I know the other side of the party picked DFG. We picked Bektemir. Bektemir pulled it out late with that knockdown, I think, in the 10th round. So anyway, we got a lot of good fights coming up. That's sort of just what to see. We got so much right in front of us, though. If you're new to the channel, guys, I say thank you for supporting us. If you're a JSP insider, stay tuned to the Discord and the Patreon. I've already given you 4 tickets, 4 parlays. Our streak of 34 fights in a row came to an end last week. We hit 34 in a row. Our record last year was 54 in a row. So this week we start a new streak, and we hit underdogs back-to-back weeks. 2 weeks ago we hit with Jorge Chavez beating Manny Flores, and last week we hit the big one, hitting J-Rod beating Kane Sandoval, and this week we're rolling the dice again, taking Josh Kelly over Bakram Murtazayev. If you guys aren't in the Discord, if you're not an insider, click the link that's pinned in the bio. Digital hug. I'll see you guys tomorrow.